Life is not about what happens to you, it's about how you respond. You can't control everything that hits you, but you can control how you react to it. Most people destroy their own lives not because of outside circumstances, but because of the way they handle pressure. They get emotional, they lash out, they fold under the slightest bit of heat. That's not strength, that's self-sabotage wearing a disguise. Emotions aren't your enemy, but they can be dangerous when they are unmanaged. The issue isn't feeling pain, it's what you do with the pain. Some of why all bleed on people who didn't cut you, because you never learned to process instead of explode. You can't let your emotions write checks your future can't cash. Learning to pause, breathe, and then choose your response is a weapon. You have to learn to delay your first reaction. It feels good to react fast and snap back, but feelings ain't facts. You might feel disrespected, but responding out of anger only exposes your weakness. Self-control is your armor in a world that wants to pull you out of character. You don't owe everybody a reaction. You owe yourself peace. The world is always testing you. People will push your buttons, life will throw curveballs, and situations will challenge everything you stand for. When you don't control yourself, the world controls you. That means your peace, your focus, and your joy are all up for grabs. You are not grounded, you are reactive. And reactive people stay broken. Maturity isn't how old you are, it's how well you manage your emotions under pressure. You can be 40 years old with the emotional control of a teenager if you don't check yourself. Ground people don't just feel, they evaluate. They take the time to ask, what's the smart move here? Not just what feels good right now. You want a new life, but you are still responding with the same old attitude. How are you going to create peace when every conflict gets the worst version of you? How are you going to walk into success when one setback makes you lose your temper? The old version of you brought you this far, but to go further, you need new levels of control. If your reactions continue to cost you opportunities, relationships, and time, then your reactions are your prison. Nobody's locking you up, you are doing that with your own hands. That's not life being unfair, that's you not evolving. And until you master your response, your future stays in limbo. Everybody has dreams. That's the easy part. Anybody can sit down and fantasize about success, but discipline, that's the grind. That's what separates the wishers from the workers. You can't manifest greatness if you are allergic to effort. You can't pray your way into purpose while sleeping through the process. Discipline is doing what you said you were going to do long after the feeling is gone. It's showing up tired. It's choosing the uncomfortable route. It's saying no to what's easy because you are committed to what's hard. Nobody becomes great by accident. They had a system. They had rules. They had standards, and they didn't break them for convenience. Most people think they need more motivation. Nah. You need more commitment. Motivation fades the minute life gets difficult. But discipline wakes up even when your mood says to stay in bed. Discipline makes the call, hits the gym, turns off the TV, and keeps moving forward without applause. You have to stop chasing the right mood to do what matters. Your feelings are inconsistent. One minute you are inspired, the next you are distracted. If your consistency is based on mood, your life will always be unstable. Discipline locks you into structure. It builds the momentum your emotions can't. Every time you choose discipline, you stack bricks on the foundation of your future. It may not feel like progress right now, but you are building something unshakable. Little by little, it adds up. Day by day, it compounds. And before you know it, discipline becomes your superpower. Stop romanticizing the grind and start respecting the structure. It's not about grinding blindly, it's about building intentionally. Show up. Execute. Repeat. Don't wait for energy. Don't wait for support. Discipline doesn't wait for approval. It shows up because it knows what's on the line. You can dream all day, but until you develop the self-control to show up consistently, your dream will stay a fantasy. Discipline is the only thing that makes a dream real. It's the daily decision to align your actions with your vision, even when life tries to pull you off track. Laziness is smooth. It knows how to sound reasonable. You have worked hard enough. You need a break. Just one more hour of sleep. It's always disguised as self-care, but it's sabotage in disguise. You don't need more rest, you need more resilience. You are not exhausted, you are undisciplined. Every time you negotiate with laziness, you pay with your potential. You delay progress. You extend suffering, you waste time. And the worst part, you get comfortable losing. You start making peace with mediocrity because it's familiar. You stop fighting because giving up feels safer. You have to stop giving lazy thoughts a seat at your table. You can't entertain doubt, delay, or distractions and still expect greatness. The more you entertain it, the more it becomes your identity. You start believing you are someone who just can't focus or doesn't follow through. That's a lie. You just keep choosing comfort over control. Laziness is the voice in your head that's afraid of the climb. It knows hard work leads to change, and change is uncomfortable. So it keeps you in bed, on the couch, in your excuses. But nothing about your purpose is found in your comfort zone. If you keep settling, you'll keep suffering. When you stop negotiating with laziness, you take your power back. You stop asking how you feel and start asking what needs to be done. You move regardless of energy. You execute whether you are excited or not. That's what high performers do. They show up anyway. The world doesn't care how tired you are. Life doesn't pause for your procrastination. You either step up or fall behind. Your competition is moving while you are making excuses. Your opportunity is knocking while you are hitting snooze. That gap, that's laziness winning. You need to wake up every day and decide, am I going to serve my purpose or serve my weakness? You can't do both. Laziness will always feel easier in the moment, but it always costs more in the long run. Real freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you feel like. It comes from having the power to not be ruled by what you feel. You think freedom is staying in bed all day, skipping responsibility, chasing pleasure, but that's not freedom, that's a trap. The more you obey every impulse, the more enslaved you become to them. You don't own your timing anymore, your urges do. You don't run your day, your habits do. That's not freedom, that's bondage with a smile on its face. Self-control is the skill that separates the average from the disciplined and the disciplined from the powerful. It's the ability to pause before reacting, to walk away when it's not worth it, to shut your mouth when anger wants to run it, and to stay on track when temptation is calling. It's not about being robotic, it's about being wise enough to know what's at stake when you lose control. Every time you say no to what's convenient, you say yes to your destiny. Without self-control, everything you build will eventually collapse. You can be talented, gifted, brilliant, but if you can't control yourself, you'll destroy everything you touch. One bad decision can burn down a future you have been building for years. One emotional outburst can ruin your reputation. One lazy season can set you back 10 steps. That's the cost of living without discipline. It robs you in silence. That shows up loud with consequences. People love talking about freedom, but don't want the responsibility that comes with it. Real freedom is when you can walk away from drama and not need to prove a point. It's when you can say, I'm not going to spend money I don't have and still sleep peacefully. It's when you control your cravings instead of letting them run your pockets, your time, and your emotions. Self-control doesn't restrict your life, it protects it. It builds the walls that keep chaos out. Most people are prisoners of their patterns. They do the same things over and over again, not because they want to, but because they don't know how to stop. That's not weakness, that's a signal. It's time to interrupt the pattern. It's time to say, I've had enough of this cycle. You have got to develop enough control to override the urge to step back and say, this isn't who I'm becoming. That's when growth starts for real. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Self-control doesn't mean you never mess up, it means you stop excusing the mess. It means you hold yourself accountable even when nobody else is watching. It means you train your mind to protect your peace, your focus, and your goals like your life depends on it, because it does. This is life or limits. You get to choose. The stronger your self-control gets, the quieter your life becomes. Less drama, fewer regrets, more peace. You stop chasing validation. You stop reacting to nonsense. You stop starting over every few months. You finally get consistent, and that consistency starts transforming everything around you. You can have a powerful vision, a strong work ethic, and a sharp plan, but if your mouth isn't in alignment with your mind, you'll tear down everything you are trying to build. People don't realize how dangerous loose words are. You can be speaking defeat while working on success. You can be planting seeds and digging them up with your tongue. What you say matters more than you think. Your life starts moving in the direction of your words. Every time you say, I can't, I'm tired, I'm broke, or it'll never work, you are not venting, you are programming your reality. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between a joke and a decision. You keep talking like a failure, and your actions will follow. The more you say it, the more you start believing it, and the more your behavior shifts to match it. Your words can either fuel your growth or feed your fear. People don't sabotage their lives in silence, they do it out loud. Have you ever heard someone say, nothing ever works out for me, and they wonder why everything's always falling apart? That's not a coincidence, that's confirmation. Your mouth is powerful. If you constantly speak negatively, you become a magnet for it. You can't say, I'm stuck every day and expect to move forward. Your mouth is steering your life whether you realize it or not. Watch how you speak to yourself when you are frustrated. That's where most damage is done. In anger, you declare things over your life that you don't mean, but your future doesn't know that. It just follows instructions. You can be in a temporary season and make permanent statements that become a part of your identity. I'm a failure. I'm always like this. I never get a break. Now your mind starts building a reality based on something you only said out of pain. You also have to be careful who you speak to. Not everybody deserves access to your ideas or your vision. Some people are dream killers, and the moment you open your mouth around them, they plant doubt. Now their fear becomes your hesitation. Your mouth exposed something your mind was still developing. That's why silence is power. Talk less, build more. Speak when it's time, not just when you are emotional. There's a reason successful people guard their words. They understand the connection between what they say and what they see. They don't talk about failure. They don't speak drama. They don't let frustration turn into declarations. They are strategic with their voice because they know it shapes everything. They'll be going through hell and still say, I'm getting through this. That's control. That's power. That's wisdom. You can't keep using your voice to express defeat and expect victory to show up. You have to train your mouth to match your mission. Speak life over yourself. Speak with purpose. Speak progress. Speak with strength even when you feel weak. If your words and your work aren't in agreement, you are building with one hand and tearing it down with the other. You can have the best mentors, the strongest support system, the most encouraging friends, but none of that means anything if you can't manage yourself. People love to talk about finding the right circle, and yes, that matters, but if you are undisciplined, unmotivated, and unstable, no amount of good company will fix that. Your circle can inspire you, but they can't babysit your choices. It starts with you taking full ownership of your behavior. You want people around you who are successful, who are focused, who are climbing, but ask yourself this, what are you bringing to the table? Because even if you sit with lions, if you act like a sheep, you'll get left behind. You can't keep relying on other people's fire to keep you warm. Eventually, the patience runs out. Their energy drains. Their purpose moves faster than your excuses can keep up with. That's when you realize support isn't a substitute for self-control. People love having powerful circles, but they don't talk about the pressure that comes with it. You want to be around winners. Then act like one. Winners on time explaining why they didn't follow through. They don't need pep talks every day to do what needs to be done. If you are constantly leaning on your circle to push you, something's broken. A strong circle should sharpen you, not carry you. If they have to drag you, you are not growing, you are weighing them down. You have to stop blaming your circle when things don't change. It's not their job to change your life, it's yours. The truth is, most people in your circle don't even know how much you struggle with consistency because you have become a professional at looking focused while living in chaos. It's not enough to be connected. You need control. Otherwise, you are just a passenger in a vehicle you keep crashing every time the wheel is in your hands. A powerful circle can open doors, but only you can walk through them with discipline. They can give advice, but only you can follow it without falling back into old habits. They can check on you, but they can't save you from yourself. Nobody can stop you from sabotaging your progress but you. Until you learn to manage your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, your environment won't matter. This is why people bounce from circle to circle, relationship to relationship, mentor to mentor, because they are searching for what only self-control can give. It's not more guidance you need, it's more execution. It's not more opportunity, it's more follow-through. You are praying for new connections while ignoring the old commitments. You don't need another group chat, you need to get honest with the person in the mirror. Even when you are surrounded by greatness, if you can't control your time, your focus, your habits, your mouth, your anger, your laziness, you'll miss out. You'll be close to your purpose, but never walk in it. You'll hear wisdom, but never apply it. You'll see examples, but never become one. The circle is there to sharpen you, not save you. You are the one who has to put in the work when no one's watching. You can dream big all day, write goals in journals, speak affirmations in the mirror, but if your habits are weak, your results will always fall short. A strong life doesn't come from hype. It's built on repetition, structure, and discipline. Weak habits are like termites. You don't notice the damage until the whole structure starts collapsing. You wonder why you are stuck, but you keep waking up late, quitting halfway, and scrolling through distractions like it's your job. The life you want isn't hidden, it's buried under the habits you keep avoiding. You are not lost, you are just undisciplined. Every great life is built by small, consistent actions that most people ignore. Waking up early when it's hard. Showing up when you don't feel like it. Saying no when it's easier to say just once. You don't become strong by doing what's convenient. You become strong by doing what's required over and over again. You can't expect stability in your life when you live in chaos every day. You say you want peace, but your habits create stress. You say you want success, but your habits reflect comfort. You can't grow in purpose when you are married to procrastination. Stop calling it a season when it's just a cycle. If you want a strong life, you have to break the weak patterns. You can't pray for strength and keep living like you are fragile. Weak habits come dressed in comfort. They whisper just this once. They convince you that skipping one day won't matter. But one day becomes two, then a week, then a lifestyle. It's not about perfection, it's about momentum. It's about stacking wins, no matter how small. Weak habits drain momentum, strong ones build it. The difference between average and great is not always talent, it's who stayed disciplined when nobody was clapping. People want strong results without strong routines. They want the body without the discipline, the business without the grind, the blessings without the structure. That's not how this works. Your habits are either building your future or breaking it down quietly. It's not about what you do once, it's about what you do daily. It's not just willpower, it's systems. You don't rise to your level of motivation, you fall to the level of your habits. You know where your habits are weak. You feel it every time you settle. You feel it every time you break a promise to yourself. You feel it when you wake up late and rush through the day. That heaviness on your chest, that's the weight of your potential waiting to be released. The truth is, you don't need more motivation, you need a new standard. Weak habits won't take you to strong places. You want strength, build it in the dark. Build it when it's boring. Build it when it's hard. Build it when nobody's watching. Strong habits don't show up overnight. They are formed through repetition, discomfort, and relentless follow-through. If your foundation is shaky, the whole structure crumbles under pressure. That's why you need habits that can hold the weight of the life you are trying to brace your. Every single day you wake up, you are making choices that affect someone you haven't met yet, the future version of you. That version is either going to thank you or resent you. The decisions you make today, the discipline you choose, the habits you form, the pain you push through, it's all a down payment on the person you are becoming. You can't keep living like today is all that matters. Your future self is waiting for you to step up, not slack off. You owe your future more than excuses. You owe it a foundation. You owe it discipline, sacrifice, strength, and clarity. You owe it time away from distractions and time invested in purpose. You owe it workouts when you feel lazy, prayers when you feel lost, and action when you feel stuck. This isn't about perfection, it's about responsibility. Stop waiting for motivation. Get up and do it because your future depends on it. The version of you that wants peace, purpose, success, stability, and impact, that version doesn't just appear one day. It's crafted, molded, and carved out by the pressure of today's choices. You don't stumble into greatness. You don't wake up productive out of nowhere. That strong version of you that doesn't fold under pressure is built from days when you wanted to quit but didn't. You become better by choosing better, even when it's uncomfortable. Think about where you are headed. Do your current habits lead there? Does your mindset support it? Are your words in agreement with it? If not, you are robbing your future. You are not just wasting time, you are weakening the path forward. You are building a life that your future self is going to have to fix, clean up, or recover from. That's not fair to the person you are trying to become. They deserve more from you right now. People think self-love is comfort and ease, but real self-love is choosing discipline so your future doesn't suffer. It's being hard on yourself now so life doesn't hit you harder later. It's going to bed early, saying no to toxic patterns, pushing your limits, and keeping promises to yourself. You don't owe the world a better version of you. You owe that to your future. You owe it to the dream you keep seeing in your spirit. You owe it to the potential that's too big to ignore. You have to stop settling for a version of yourself that can't handle what you have been praying for. Stop saying you want more, but preparing like you are staying the same. The future you want to live in peace, walk in purpose, and lead with confidence, but the present you have to pay the price. That price is consistency. That price is discomfort. That price is letting go of what's holding you down so you can rise into who you are meant to be. And the truth is, nobody can do that for you. No mentor, no partner, no friend, no pastor, no circle. This is between you and the mirror. This is where growth happens. This is where you choose to rise instead of remain. Your future deserves someone who didn't give up in the hard seasons, who didn't fold when it got lonely, who didn't stop just because progress felt slow. Your future is waiting on that version of you to show up fully and show up now. Your emotions will try to drown out your dreams. When fear, doubt, frustration, or anger hit, they shout like a storm inside your head. You feel small, overwhelmed, like giving up is the only option. That's natural. Emotions are loud and they demand attention. But here's what most people miss. Your future has a voice too, and it's even louder. You just have to train yourself to listen to it instead of getting swept away by the noise. Every time your emotions scream, remember that they are temporary. The pain, the disappointment, the fear, they pass. But the consequences of letting those emotions control your actions last far longer. You can't build a legacy on feelings that change like the wind. You have to recognize when emotions are trying to sabotage you and remind yourself what you are working for, what your future self is counting on you to do right now, even when it hurts. It takes strength to hold steady when your emotions want to pull you under. It takes courage to stand firm when the storms rage inside. You have to choose to prioritize vision over feeling, purpose over panic. Your emotions don't have to be your enemy, but they can't be your dictator either. If you let your feelings decide your next move, you'll be stuck in a cycle of chaos, never moving forward, never breaking free. People confuse being real with giving emotions free rein. No. Being real means acknowledging your emotions but not letting them drive the car. You have to be honest with yourself about how you feel but still take control of what you do. That's the difference between growth and stagnation. Your future demands discipline, even when your emotions scream for comfort, avoidance, or quitting. That's where champions are made, in the tension between feeling and doing. Emotions can fuel you when harnessed right, but left unchecked, they'll derail everything. Anger can motivate you to change, but bitterness will destroy your progress. Fear can warn you, but paralysis will keep you stuck. You have to learn to listen to the message behind the noise, not the noise itself. You have to keep your eyes on the prize, your mind on the mission, and your heart anchored in faith that the pain is temporary and the reward is coming. The future you envision isn't a place where emotions disappear, it's a place where you master them. It's where you have the power to feel deeply but not fall apart, where you respond thoughtfully, not react impulsively, where you push through discomfort instead of running from it. That future is louder than any emotional outburst because it's backed by purpose, commitment, and vision. It's stronger than any voice in your head telling you to quit. So when your emotions get loud, don't run away or surrender. Lean into the silence beyond the storm. Find the still voice inside that says, keep going. That's your future talking. And it's screaming louder than fear, doubt, or pain ever will. You just have to listen harder, believe deeper, and keep moving forward no matter what your emotions say in the moment. Excuses are the easiest thing to grab when life gets tough. They wrap around you like a warm blanket on a cold night, comfortable, familiar, and tempting. Say I'm too tired, I don't have time, or it's not the right moment feels good because it temporarily relieves the pressure. But that relief is a lie and it comes with a cost. Excuses don't build bridges, they build walls. They don't open doors, they close them. At first, excuses feel like protection. They shield you from discomfort, from failure, from judgment. They let you off the hook when things get hard. But every excuse is a missed opportunity, a delayed dream, a stolen chance to grow. You think you are avoiding pain, but you are creating a bigger pain, the pain of regret. That's the invisible cost nobody talks about until it's too late to fix. You have to get real with yourself about what excuses are doing in your life. They might make you feel better in the moment, but they steal your future quietly. They create a cycle where you are always promising to start tomorrow, but never actually starting. You tell yourself you are waiting for the right time, but that time rarely comes. Excuses keep you in the same place while the world moves forward without you. Here's the hard truth. Successful people don't have fewer problems, they have fewer excuses. They show up and do the work, no matter how they feel, no matter how many reasons they have to quit. Excuses don't disappear problems, they multiply them. They turn small obstacles into mountains. They rob you of momentum and leave you stuck in the same spot, watching others pass you by while you make excuses about why it's not your season. Excuses feel good because they are easy, but easy never built anything worth having. The life you want demands grit, hustle, and sacrifice. It demands saying no to the excuses and yes to the grind. Every time you catch yourself making an excuse, remember that you are either building your dreams or building a prison that will hold you captive. You don't have to be perfect, just willing to do what others won't. It's time to stop romanticizing excuses like they are a necessary part of the process. They are not. They are the enemy of progress. Progress happens when you take responsibility and act despite the discomfort. Progress happens when you look fear and doubt in the face and say, not today. Progress happens when you commit to the long haul, knowing there will be days you don't feel like it, but you do it anyway. You owe it to yourself to outgrow the excuses. You owe it to your future to show up, grind, and build. Because at the end of the day, excuses feel good only until you realize they don't build a thing, not your confidence, not your dreams, not your legacy. Discomfort is not the enemy, it's the signal that you are growing. Every time you feel uneasy, stretched, or challenged, that's evolution knocking at your door. It's nature's way of forcing you out of your comfort zone because comfort zones are where dreams go to die. If you want to be better, stronger, smarter, richer, or wiser, you have to be willing to pay the price of discomfort. It's non-negotiable. The problem is that most people run from discomfort like it's poison. They seek comfort over growth, ease over effort. But growth isn't meant to be easy. It's supposed to feel hard, awkward, and sometimes downright painful. That tension you feel in your mind and body, that's the stretch before the breakthrough. Every champion, every successful person, and every leader had to endure discomfort to reach their next level. Think about it, babies don't learn to walk without falling 100 times first. Muscles don't get stronger without resistance. Even diamonds form under intense pressure. Discomfort is the pressure that shapes you into something new. It strips away the weak layers and reveals the strength beneath. It pushes you to develop skills, build resilience, and deepen your character. Discomfort tests your commitment. It reveals whether you are truly serious about your goals or just chasing a fantasy. When the path gets rough, it's easy to quit, but evolution demands you keep moving. It requires you to lean into the pain, not run from it. If you quit every time it gets uncomfortable, you are choosing to stay the same. Evolution doesn't happen by accident. It's a choice you make every day. It's okay to feel uncomfortable. That's part of being human. But don't let discomfort paralyze you. Use it as fuel. Let it remind you that you are alive, that you are stretching, that you are fighting for something bigger. Your willingness to embrace discomfort determines how far you'll go. It's the difference between stagnation and transformation. Discomfort is also a teacher. It forces you to adapt, innovate, and grow in ways comfort never could. It teaches patience, persistence, and humility. It breaks down old habits and patterns that no longer serve you. It forces you to confront your fears and limitations so you can overcome them. Without discomfort, there is no evolution, just a quiet, slow fade into mediocrity. So don't run from the uneasy feelings, the hard days, or the setbacks. They are the price you pay to become who you are meant to be. When you embrace discomfort, you are not just surviving, you are evolving. You are rewriting your story, reshaping your reality, and becoming stronger than you ever imagined possible. How you start your morning sets the tone for your entire day. The first moments after you wake up aren't just a routine, they are the declaration. They tell your mind, your body, and your spirit what kind of day you are ready to have. If you show up late, distracted, or defeated first thing, guess what? That energy follows you everywhere. But if you master your morning, you grab the reins of your life before anyone else tries to pull them away. Mastering the morning isn't about waking up early just because it sounds impressive. It's about creating rituals that fuel your focus, motivation, and productivity. It's about setting priorities before distractions swarm in. When you start your day with intention, you are less likely to fall prey to excuses or let stress control you. Instead, you build momentum that carries you through every challenge, decision, and opportunity. Most people hit snooze, scroll through their phones, and get rushed out the door with barely a thought about what they want to achieve. That's not mastering the morning, that's surrendering it. When you master your morning, you command it. You control your environment, your mindset, and your actions. You plan your day with purpose, not by reaction. That power to control the start of your day is the same power to control your life. This isn't just about being productive, it's about building self-respect. When you show up for yourself first thing, you send a message that you will matter. You reinforce discipline and self-love. You remind yourself that your goals and dreams are worth time and energy. And that consistency compounds. Day after day, those morning wins create confidence that spills into every area of your life. Mastering the morning means saying no to distractions like social media, negative news, and toxic conversations. It means carving out time for what builds you up, reading, planning, praying, meditating, or exercising. It means waking up with a mindset of gratitude and clarity instead of chaos. When you start the day grounded, your decisions are sharper and your focus is laser sharp. You have to design your morning like a champion, not a victim. What you do before the world wakes up is the foundation for everything you want to build. If your mornings are chaotic or lazy, your days will be too. But if your mornings are intentional and controlled, you'll find yourself more productive, more peaceful, and more successful. This is where control over your reality begins. So take control of your mornings and you take control of your life. The power to transform your reality starts with how you show up first thing every day. When you master the morning, you master the moments that matter, and those moments add up to a life of purpose, power, and progress. Let me tell you something straight. No one is coming to save you. Not your family, not your friends, not some magical force out there. Waiting on someone else to fix your problems or change your circumstances is the fastest way to stay stuck in the same place, year after year. If you want a different reality, it starts with you taking control of yourself right now. Nobody owes you progress, success, or happiness. It's easy to fall into the victim mentality, blaming others, circumstances, or bad luck for where you are. But the truth is, those excuses only chain you to your current situation. The moment you stop looking outside for rescue and start looking inside for power, you break free. Control over your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions is the real salvation you need. You are the hero and the architect of your own life. Nobody will push you harder than you can push yourself. Waiting for motivation or inspiration to show up is like waiting for a train that never comes. You have to create your drive, your momentum. When you control your mind, you control your habits. When you control your habits, you control your future. This is your battle to fight, your mountain to climb, your victory to claim. It's not easy being your savior, though. It means accepting responsibility for your failures, your choices, and your growth. It means facing uncomfortable truths about where you have been and where you want to go. It means grinding when no one is watching, pushing through when everyone else gives up, and believing in yourself when no one else does. That kind of control takes guts, discipline, and relentless faith. Control isn't about perfection, it's about progress. You don't have to have it all figured out or be unstoppable all the time. You just have to refuse to stay stuck because someone else didn't show up for you. You have to be the one who keeps going, keeps learning, and keeps growing. When you realize that no one is coming to save you, you either rise or stay right where you are. The people who change their lives are the ones who stop waiting and start acting. They take control of their mindset, their time, and their energy. They understand that their future is built on the foundation of self-control today. When you take ownership of your life, you create power that no one can take away. You become unstoppable because you don't depend on anyone else's approval or help. So here's the challenge: control yourself or stay stuck. The choice is yours and yours alone. No rescue team is on the way, no fairy godmother is coming, and no miracle will fall into your lap. Your power is inside you, waiting to be unleashed. When you grab hold of it, you transform your reality from the inside out. Control is like a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it becomes. When you start practicing control over your thoughts, emotions, and actions, something powerful happens. You build momentum. The small wins add up, and suddenly control isn't just something you do occasionally, it becomes your default mode. You begin to take charge without even thinking about it. This kind of control is magnetic. It spreads to every part of your life. Think about the people you admire, those who seem calm under pressure, disciplined in their routines, and steady in their decisions. What separates them from the rest? It's not luck or talent, it's control that's been cultivated over time. They have practiced self-mastery day in and day out, and now control runs through their veins. It's not a switch they flip, it's a lifestyle they live. And that lifestyle is contagious to those around them. When you control yourself consistently, you influence the people in your circle. Your calm confidence becomes a source of inspiration. Your discipline motivates others to step up their game, and your focus raises the energy of the whole room. Control is contagious because it's rooted in integrity and strength. People sense it, respect it, and want to be around it. Your example becomes a silent force that pulls others toward better habits and higher standards. But control isn't automatic, it's built through practice and repetition. You won't wake up one day fully in control without putting in the work. It takes pushing through temptation, choosing patience over frustration, and making decisions that align with your goals rather than your impulses. Every time you choose control, you are training that muscle, making it easier to flex the next time. This cycle creates unstoppable growth. There will be moments when control feels impossible, when emotions threaten to explode, or when distractions scream for your attention. Those are the moments that matter most because they are the test of your strength. Every time you resist giving in, you reinforce your control. You prove to yourself that you are not a victim of circumstances, but the captain of your ship. This repeated practice reshapes your brain, rewiring it for resilience and power. Control also grows by surrounding yourself with environments and people who support it. If you constantly live in chaos or hang around those who lack discipline, your control weakens. But when you choose spaces and relationships that promote growth, your control gets amplified. Like gravity pulling everything toward the center, a disciplined environment attracts more discipline. That's why control grows exponentially when it's practiced with intention and community. As you practice control day after day, you start to notice shifts not just inside you, but in your reality. Challenges don't derail you like they used to. Stress becomes manageable and distractions lose their grip. Your life begins to reflect the power of your self-control. And here's the truth. The more control you have, the more control you want. It's a cycle of strength that feeds itself, propelling you toward your highest potential. Silence isn't weakness, it's one of the strongest moves you can make in life. Too often we feel pressured to respond immediately to every comment, criticism, or conflict that comes our way. But the truth is, not every situation deserves your energy or voice. Choosing silence strategically is a form of control over your emotions, your reactions, and ultimately your reality. When you learn to hold your tongue, you hold your power. Responding to everything drains your energy and scatters your focus. When you engage with every argument, every negative comment, or every drama, you lose sight of what matters: your goals, your peace, your progress. Silence lets you protect your mental space and keep your eyes on the prize. It's not about ignoring problems, it's about choosing which battles are worth fighting and which ones are distractions. Powerful people know that silence commands respect. When you don't rush to explain yourself or defend every word, people start to pay closer attention to what you do or say. Your words carry more weight because they are measured and intentional. Silence builds mystery and authority. It shows that you are not reactive but deliberate. And in a world full of noise and chaos, that's a rare and valuable strength. Silence also gives you the time and space to process your emotions and thoughts before reacting. When you pause, you avoid saying things you'll regret or making decisions out of anger or fear. This kind of control is essential because it prevents unnecessary conflicts and keeps your energy focused on productive actions. It's a way to break the cycle of drama and stay grounded in your purpose. Sometimes silence is the best answer to negativity. When people try to pull you into their toxic energy, refusing to engage disarms them. It tells them that their attempts to provoke you won't work. Silence is a shield that protects your peace. It's saying, I'm above this, I won't give my power away to petty battles or meaningless noise. This is control at its finest, knowing when to speak and when to listen. You also have to remember that silence isn't about suppressing yourself forever. It's about choosing the right moments to speak up with clarity and confidence. When you hold back from unnecessary responses, you save your voice for the moments that truly matter, when your message can inspire, motivate, or change a situation. Silence creates space for your voice to shine when it counts. By mastering silence, you master yourself. You refuse to be a puppet pulled by every insult, rumor, or criticism. Instead, you stand firm, calm, and in control. This power to choose your battles and guard your energy changes how others see you and how you see yourself. It transforms your reality by shifting your focus from reaction to intentional action. Your standards are the invisible rules that guide every decision you make, every relationship you accept, and every opportunity you pursue. They are the baseline of what you consider acceptable in your life, and they shape your reality far more than most people realize. When your standards are low, your reality reflects struggle, disappointment, and stagnation. But when you raise your standards, you raise the quality of your entire life. Many people settle for less than they deserve because they don't believe they are worthy of more. They tolerate disrespect, half-hearted efforts, and mediocre results because their standards are shaped by fear, past failures, or limiting beliefs. But the harsh truth is, the world will always match you with what you allow. If you want greatness, you have to expect it not just from others, but from yourself. Raising your standards means being honest with yourself about what you will no longer tolerate. It means walking away from toxic relationships, bad habits, and situations that don't serve your growth. It means setting clear boundaries and sticking to them even when it's uncomfortable. This kind of self-respect sends a powerful message to yourself and everyone around you that you value your worth and refuse to settle. Standards aren't about perfection, they are about alignment. They are about creating a life that reflects your values, your goals, and your potential. When your standards are high, you start making decisions that support your dreams rather than derail them. You surround yourself with people who lift you, take care of your body and mind, and pursue opportunities that challenge and inspire you. This shift rewires your daily habits and mindset. It's important to realize that raising your standards is a continuous process. As you grow and evolve, what you demand from life should evolve too. What was acceptable yesterday may no longer serve you today. The key is to stay aware and intentional about your standards. Check in with yourself regularly and don't be afraid to raise the bar higher. Your future depends on it. Your standards also influence how others treat you. People respect what you respect, and they respond to the energy you project. When you hold yourself to a higher standard, others recognize that you are serious about your life and goals. They are more likely to treat you with respect and offer you opportunities that match your level of commitment and self-worth. This creates a cycle of positive reinforcement that lifts you further. Your standards are the blueprint for your reality. They determine the quality of your relationships, your work, your health, and your happiness. If you want to change your reality, start by changing your standards. The moment you decide you deserve more, your mind, actions, and circumstances will begin to shift. This is where transformation begins, by setting a new standard and refusing to settle for anything less. Transformation isn't something that just happens when you wake up feeling motivated or inspired. It doesn't depend on the mood you are in or how good you feel on any given day. Real transformation is a conscious choice you make every single day, regardless of how you feel inside. It's a commitment to showing up and doing the work, even when the excitement is gone and the doubts creep in. Many people wait for the right feeling to take action. They think, I'll start when I feel ready, or I'll change when I feel motivated. But those feelings are fleeting. They come and go like the weather, unpredictable and unreliable. If transformation depended on feelings, nobody would ever truly change, because feelings alone don't fuel persistence. The choice to change comes before the feeling ever shows up. Choosing transformation daily means deciding to act in alignment with your goals even when it's hard. It means pushing through discomfort, uncertainty, and fear, because you know that growth requires effort beyond your comfort zone. It means saying no to excuses and yes to discipline. This is where character is built and where real progress happens, not in moments of convenience, but in moments of challenge. Transformation also means forgiving yourself when you stumble, but refusing to let failure define you. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be persistent. Every day is a new chance to recommit, to stand up and keep moving forward. The choice to keep going, even when you feel like giving up, is what separates those who transform their lives from those who stay stuck. Another important part of this choice is patience. Transformation is not instant. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You won't see drastic changes overnight, and that can be discouraging if you are focused only on results. But when you choose transformation as a daily habit, the small wins pile up quietly. And before you know it, your life looks completely different from what it did before. This daily choice requires mental toughness and clarity of purpose. You have to remind yourself why you started in the first place. When your why is strong enough, it fuels your decisions and actions, keeping you on track when distractions and temptations try to pull you off course. That's why mindset matters so much. As the foundation that supports your ongoing choice to transform. Every morning when you wake up, you face the same question: will you let yesterday's struggle define you, or will you choose to be better today? Transformation is that choice. It's not about how you feel, it's about what you decide. That decision, made every day, is the true engine of change that will transform your reality.